You smoke pot?
No. Well, yeah, sometimes, but I don't buy it, but
You don't buy it?
yeah, I mean, sometimes my friends will like have something and I'll take a little hit or two, like, but I don't like really like it, yeah.
You don't really like it?
No.
So you hate it just because it's free?
Sometimes, yeah. The vibe
That's
has
amazing.
to be right.
Well, good, man.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me?
I kind of wanted to hear you talk about like, what's the word I said?
You said innovator?
Yeah, like Christian innovation, because like I'm like a big fan of Kanye West, and I feel like a lot of the stuff he says and you say are like very like intertwined, and I see you as like a Christian innovator, and for what I mean by that is just like it's like God is past those just like four walls, and like I see that you take it in other spots, and I just maybe talk about that a little bit more, like
What does innovate mean to encourage?
just like newer, like it's like a new way of like, I don't know how to explain it.
What does innovate mean?
I think he's kind of talking about the fact that like church nowadays has become this kind of status quo thing where it's almost like you go into this building and it's like a book club you have rather than actually fellowshipping with people about real life issues, and this kind of brings it back towards that, other than just talking about trivial lines in a book maybe.
Oh, I understand. I don't know much about what Kanye West is up to, except I know he made a new song, and because I saw some black people at a church the other day, I believe it was in Texas. He had a church service at, what's his name? Joel Osteen place. And I just happened to be walking by the TV. It may have been here at the office, Nick had it on, I think. And I looked up and I saw all these black people dancing like Nelson Mandela was coming. And they were dancing in dirt. You see all the dust. Y'all remember that kind of picture? Whenever Nelson Mandela would hold a rally, because he was their hero, they would start dancing, here come Nelson Mandela. And there would be dirt everywhere. It reminded me of that. But the one thing I want you to know is that the kingdom of heaven is inside, and all that you need to know, and all that you are, and all that you need is inside. There's a new kingdom inside of us, right? And God blessed me enough to enter into that kingdom. I had heard about it growing up and out here, but I didn't know exactly what it meant. No one told me that you could live from it on earth. I heard some guy call the Hake Report today, and he said that, well, Jesse had a rough life, and he suffered a lot, and his mama was mean, and something he was saying, right? And then he had a dark spirit, and because of that, he was able to find out whatever, right? It was kind of dumb, but I know how the mind works. I do want to say my life was not rough. Even though I grew up on a plantation in Alabama, I had an amazing life growing up, because the only thing that was missing, I wanted my father. It was just a void that was missing in my life. But otherwise, my life was amazing. It was just mind-blowing. And I was telling Nick this morning that every aspect of my life, I lived it to the fullest. When I was a kid, I had so much fun on the plantation. You ever lived on a plantation?
No.
Yeah, I got to take you down there. So I lived on a plantation. When I was a kid, I lived a full life as a kid. When I became a teenager, I lived a full life as a teenager. And then when I got in my 20s, I lived a full life. Moved out on my own at 18. I just did what I made a lot of mistakes, but it was fun. I was making my own mistakes. And then, but I still had that yearning for my father, because as a kid, I knew I wanted my father. And so I would ask about him. But it wasn't until I started seeking to know myself, I wanted to understand that God allowed me to see that what was missing was the love of my father. I needed to forgive my mother who turned me away from him, or tried to, and love my father. That's what I did. And once I did, everything changed. I woke up from within and just been living that way for 30 years now, and it's just amazing. It's getting better and better. My mind has been and is being renewed. I have no conflict. I hold nothing against anyone. It's weird. You can see what's going on with people, and they don't know you can see them. You can see the spirit that's working in them, and you know that it's not them, but it's a spirit. And all the opportunities that he had created for you is happening. It will just happen. You don't have to worry about it. And so that's what I discovered, that the kingdom of heaven is within. And so I've come to realize that the world, the physical world, is still the Old Testament. Jesus came, but he did not come to save the world. He left it as it is, and he created a new environment, a new world, and he hid it away from the children of Satan. He put it inside. And only God allows those people to get in that he loves. If a man or a woman or boy or girl decide, you know what, I'm wrong for being angry. This is messed up, right? Get to know yourself. He'll draw you into that kingdom. But he's not going to let you in if you have a little bit of anger, because that's the nature of Satan, man or woman. And so I'm hearing that Kanye West is changing too. And I want to interview him. I hope he come on.
I think you guys should talk.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to talk to him.
Definitely.